So you can't comment on any evidence recovery?
No, the crime scene is being processed right now by the Chief's Detective Bureau, and that's going to take a while because they're going to go methodically through it. It's obviously a large area. Safety was his first concern. He had to ensure that everybody who left here got out of here safely, and now that he's done that and when he's confident, we'll move forward into the crime scene.
So what do we know, if anything more than what we heard 15 minutes ago, Director, about whether or not these two people are also the protagonists as well as the victims?
Well, between the radio run information, the evidence, and what we know about the victims, we do know that at least one of the victims, Jaleel Holmes, has been wanted by the Jersey City Police Department for 2 days for attempted murder from a shooting on Grant Avenue 2 days ago. The other victim is from the same general group. We are investigating right now how exactly this started. It's going to be a long investigation. There's massive video coverage in this mall. We're very confident that we will know exactly what happened and that we will hold the people responsible.
You know, I'm sure you guys are starting to review video already.
Again, the chief, we're not going to get into the minute by minute, but the chief's priority is life safety. Like anybody else, Chief Cassidy was responsible for the initial response. Her priority is the safety of everybody who was in here. I can't say enough about the job that was done by all the responding units, the police department, the fire department, the Port Authority police, under Chief Cassidy's leadership, that we didn't have a single, and some of you mentioned this before, we didn't have a single injury of somebody trampled or somebody leaving. They evacuated everybody safely and secured the crime scene. When the chief is confident that he has completely secured this area, he will move from his life safety phase into his crime scene phase.
Can we talk to Chief Cassidy about what your units encountered? Chief, when you folks when your people first arrived at the scene, what were their orders? What did you know at the time? And how did you tell them to respond?
Basically, the first calls that came in were 3 calls of a shooting up in the food court. So everyone did respond. We had our East District units respond, several units from several other districts, our very large street crimes unit, and our emergency services unit, who we always will bring to a situation like this. We did have some information that the possible shooter might have been in the parking lots at the time. So we did initially concentrate in the parking lot with our emergency services unit while people were exiting the mall, people who were in here shopping and just in the mall. They were exiting the mall, but they were doing it in a very orderly fashion. As the director said, no one was injured or hurt in any way, so everyone was very under control. Then we started getting information that possibly the shooter was in the movie theater. So we, at that point, locked down the mall, and we held everyone in place in the stores, in the big department stores and the stores within here, and even in the eateries up top in the food court. We had all the employees and everyone locked down, and we locked down the movie theater, and then we brought our emergency services units and our street crimes units up in there, and we cleared every movie theater by movie theater, and check the back hallways, because there are hallways that connect all the theaters.
What did you tell your officers going in?
Just to do the methodical search, to be on guard, make sure everyone was suited up properly with their vests. And we had a very brief description of a possible shooter, of a light-skinned male with a denim jacket, so we didn't have much on it. But they were also encountering some witnesses, so we were getting a little bit more from them, and now the detectives are dealing with those witnesses.
Your first name, please, Chief?
Patricia.
Patricia, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say none of this is an accident. The chief has put a lot of work into ensuring that his department is ready for incidents like this. It's the kind of, we were just talking before, it's the kind of thing that we hope we never have to test. But when you do, you're happy you put the work in. Chief Cassidy's response, I can't say enough about. Again, she's making light of evacuating thousands of people from an area like this after a shot's fired, having multiple reports of shooters in parking lots in movie theaters, and taking that chaos and establishing order out of it is not close to as easy as she is describing it right now. So kudos to the police department leadership and to the police officers from all the agencies who responded and handled this in such a professional manner.
Any update on when the mall will reopen?
The mall will be reopened when the chief decides that again, we've kind of moved out of the life safety into his crime scene and investigation area. When his investigation is complete, he will authorize the mall to be reopened.
Yeah, you're in one of the only secure areas in the mall right now. A lot of stores are still on lockdown. Right now, we only have the third floor secured. The search is being done by emergency service unit on the third floor. Secondly, canines will be brought in. So there'll be 2 levels of searches, and that'll be done on every floor. You're on the first floor, and this is the only area on the first floor that's been totally cleared, where you are right now.
Can people get their cars now?
We have a lot of work to do. We have not letting people to the cars yet.
For the employees who sheltered in place, is that part of an overall active shooter?
Yeah, I should give a lot of credit, and I'm sure the chief can talk here too, but the mall management and the mall security cooperating with our responding people. It would be wrong of us not to give them credit for being on scene, helping people evacuate, helping establish what happened, and working with the police department response. Again, we work with them all the time. The East District under the chief cooperates and meets with the mall security and the mall management all the time, and it paid off tonight.